Au nom du regroupement ivoirien des droits humains, nous sommes heureux d'accueillir les différents participants venus en Côte d'Ivoire dans le cadre de la consultation multisectorielle sur la réforme des politiques en matière de drogue dans la région du fleuve Mano.
On behalf of WACSI, I would like to warmly welcome you all to this very important consultation. Welcome to you all who have traveled from different countries in the region. It is our pleasure to be with you here today to participate in this multisectoral consultation on drug policy reform in the Mano River region. If you recall, in June 2014, the West African Commission on Drugs released its flagship report, which included a series of evidence-based recommendations for drug policies across the region. The report highlighted the failure of the war on drugs, which has not reduced the scale of the drug market in the region, but has rather placed significant pressure on overburdened justice systems, inciting corruption and provoking violence and human rights violations. All these efforts over the years have contributed to an increased level of awareness and engagement on drug policy debates and calls for decriminalization and support for harm reduction measures in these three targeted countries. And the progressive stance of these countries was reflected in the United Nations General Assembly sessions on the World Drug Program. Earlier this year, the West African Drug Policy Network and WACSI organized radio and TV dialogues in Benin, in Cote d'Ivoire, in Ghana, and in Liberia and Sierra Leone to engage community, citizens, and government officials in approaching drug policy formulation and compliance from a public health perspective. These engagements have borne fruits and has translated into the action with the new Ghana Narcotics Commission Bill, which is due to be presented before Parliament. And we are hopeful that this will be presented before Parliament this year. So under this prospective legislation, people will not face criminal sanctions for possessing drugs for personal use. If the law passes, Ghana will become the first sub-Saharan country to decriminalize personal drug use and possession. Despite these efforts, many West African countries are still in favor of prohibition policy, where no visible reform process is taking place. A situation which is more revealing in the Mano River region countries. And we know that this approach has failed anywhere it has been practiced. So in response to this, the Drug Policy Network, WACSI and OSIWA, have recognized the need to bring together government officials, national law enforcement agencies, civil society practitioners from the Mano River Union countries to foster drug policy reform discussions. More specifically, the two-day consultation will seek to interrogate the measures put in place within the Mano River region to deal with the drug production, use, trafficking, and organized crime, discuss the need for drug policy reforms in the Mano River region, develop a Mano River region joint communique on drug policy reform. For the next 2 days, we will have the opportunity to build a momentum for the drug policy reform in the Mano River region and agree in principle on a joint communique or joint approach calling for drug policy reform grounded in human rights and public health.
C'est pourquoi j'aimerais, au nom de Madame la ministre de la Santé et de l'Hygiène publique, remercier les responsables du regroupement des acteurs ivoiriens des droits humains pour cette initiative d'échange sur les politiques en matière de drogue. Nous sommes convaincus qu'avec le précieux soutien de tous, nous parviendrons dans un futur proche à inverser les tendances liées au trafic et à la consommation de drogue en Côte d'Ivoire et dans la sous-région. C'est sur cette note d'espoir et en souhaitant bon atelier à tous que je déclare ouverte, au nom de Madame la ministre de la Santé et de l'Hygiène publique, la consultation multisectorielle sur la réforme des politiques en matière de drogue dans la région du fleuve Mano. Je vous remercie.
My name is Charles Kojo Van Dyke. I'm the Head of Capacity Development at WACSI. The West African Drug Policy Network and WACSI are organizing a multi-sectoral meeting in Abidjan for the Mano River countries on drug policy reform. The reason we are organizing this meeting is to add to the momentum of drug policy reform within the region. The meeting has invited public officials and civil society to discuss issues of drug policy from Liberia, from Guinea, from Sierra Leone, and from Cote d'Ivoire. The meeting has 3 objectives. First of all, to look at the current measures that are being put in place by the Mano River countries to fight against drug trafficking, drug production and use, and also to look at which parts of the various laws in these countries need to be reformed, including institutional practices. Thirdly, we hope at the end of this meeting that a joint communique will be developed that highlights the various approaches to fighting the drug menace within this region.
I am Chisobachine. I'm ECOWAS Program Officer, Law Enforcement and Cooperation. I'm currently working on the project Support to ECOWAS Regional Action Plan to address illicit drug trafficking, organized crime and drug abuse in West Africa, being funded by the European Union. And with regard to drug policy reform, ECOWAS is always committed to any laudable initiative in the region. But ECOWAS would also like any drug reform to come up with specific objectives, the legal framework, the terms of reference for those drug reforms, so that ECOWAS will have the opportunity to communicate to its member states and carry them along in the process of carrying out any reforms.
Je suis le docteur Jean-Jacques Kwame, je représente le directeur coordonnateur du programme national de lutte contre le tabagisme, l'alcoolisme, la toxicomanie et les autres addictions en Côte d'Ivoire, programme du ministère de la Santé et de l'Hygiène publique. Mais, au niveau du combat contre la drogue, la Côte d'Ivoire s'est engagée pour l'amélioration des droits des usagers de drogue. Surtout dans les programmes de réduction des risques. La Côte d'Ivoire a déjà accueilli plusieurs réunions à cet effet et plusieurs programmes sont en cours dans ce sens-là. Il y a déjà la mise sur pied de 2 centres de traitement aux substituts aux opiacés, traitement de substitution aux opiacés. Il y a aussi la réhabilitation de certains centres qui vont prendre en charge les usagers de drogue. Il faut dire que nous sommes conscients en Côte d'Ivoire que pour le moment, la législation fait la part belle à la répression, mais il y a un projet de loi sur la drogue qui verra bientôt le jour. Et déjà rédigé, ce projet sera bientôt étudié pour passer au Conseil des ministres et devenir une loi pour la Côte d'Ivoire. Et donc, pour résumer, je dis que la Côte d'Ivoire est bien engagée dans toutes les recommandations de l'Union africaine et de la CEDEAO.